This show is brought to you by Whomst.
No,
Whomst.
It's not the name. It's Manscaped.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, what did you say?
I don't
The
know
other
who
week?
Whomst.
Manscape or something?
Manscape.
Manscaped.
Manscape with the code Dangle.
It's not Abruzzese. It's Abru
Z's.
Manscaped.
We didn't talk about that.
Manscaped.com / use the promo code Dangle, Dangle or Dangile, depending upon what part of the world you're listening from. Let's get into it, baby.
You got
20% off and free shipping. Of course. But you knew that, right? Because you've heard our ads before. Now we can start.
Now you know it again.
The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
I was wondering if you were going to stare down the camera the entire time.
I tried, but laughing's fun.
I wanted to let you know that today, if you're a big Call of Duty player, which I haven't played in years, Snoop Dogg, because it's 420, has made his way into Call of Duty for the first time as a player.
Why is this what you're leading the show
Because I
with?
thought you would want to know what he comes equipped with. He's got the Bong Ripper sniper rifle,
You're making that up.
the West Coast Bling assault rifle, and this Shiznit machine gun for just $19.99 worth of in-game currency.
The Bong Rippers.
Bong
Fucking
Ripper sniper
hilarious.
rifle. So for all you campers out there, Bong Ripper sniper rifle. And that's his look. He's got like a leather jacket. He looks good. Yeah.
Snoop Dogg is in everything. I love him.
Is
him
the-
and Slash together doing everything.
Yeah.
Is the game mode where you can be like is object hunt? Have you guys seen that? Is that from a Call of Duty game?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
Because they took the Fortnite format and the player unknown, Battlefront or Battleground, whatever it was, format, and they're now doing it. And then I think Fortnite responded by saying, "Okay, we're gonna get rid of all the building, so you just have to shoot now." And everybody went back to Fortnite because it's free, right? Fortnite's free. That's the big thing about Fortnite is it's free for anybody to play. It's the only thing you pay for is your skins.
Well, that's what lost me because I was like, I'm gonna give this Fortnite thing a try, and then they're like, you got to build all the shit, and I'm like, I think I'm done with Fortnite.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Have you guys ever seen Prop Hunt? Is what I was looking for?
No.
It's called Prop Hunt, where you can be like a chair and then somebody's trying to hunt you down and trying to discover.
I have seen this.
Okay, it's huge on TikTok.
Yes,
It is from Call of Duty.
because you're like
It's not this Call of Duty.
a pylon or something
Yeah.
a table. You're
I
a
don't know.
mobile table.
I really like those videos.
Yes, very funny.
I've never played a Call of Duty game.
They're good. I mean,
Is it
like,
fun?
The first
I
Call
have.
of Duty, like there's one where you're like one of the missions is you're in the Ukraine and you're in the old like where the nuclear power plant melted down, Chernobyl, which is super weird now thinking about it because you're literally stopping. I think you're stopping like Russian terrorists or something like that. But so
it's based in 2022.
no, it is not. It's not supposed to be. But it's like it was really, really well done and so ahead of its time. Like so, the story was really good. And then obviously the multiplayer was really, really good for a time. But the problem with Call of Duty is that it's so popular, people get into the back end of it and they're able to hack it. And then you're able to have players that are so good that like they're untouchable and you literally can't hit them because they've hacked their way in. And so they, I think Call of Duty put out a big thing last fall and said we're going to kick out every cheater we find or whatever, which has always been their policy anyway. But they just can't find them. Like they can't find them fast enough, and they ban you. Okay, so what? So you just start a new account and try again. So
you know what I've noticed this year with NHL is no more racism.
All right, we said no more, and they meant no more.
Dude, literally, if I see a funny name that is not based in any kind of racism or homophobia or misogyny, I'm like, you know what? Good for you.
That's how bad the bar is. That's how low the bar is.
We played a team called like Fart McGee the other day, and I was like, that's
Whoa.
some good wholesome fun.
Yeah, that might have been Jesse's.
Are they listeners?
That might be.
Poop Magoo.
Steve, when people play you on NHL, do they message you? Do they know it's you?
Yeah, they do. But like we're decent, so like it's usually like, oh, good game or
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
They don't trash talk you?
Oh, but when they kick our ass, which has happened, do I just eat a heap of shit?
What was the story of you were playing? Somebody knew it was you online, and I think I don't know if you swore at them or if you like farted or something. They were like a kid, and you're like, I probably shouldn't do this.
I don't remember.
You don't remember? You told me that story.
Well,
one
I
time.
do
can't-
remember. There was so I played Fortnite and
Maybe it was Fortnite.
like the one time ever, and no, I did not fart. No, okay, that was actually so Jesse's getting two stories mixed up.
Oh, so it is a story.
I did, once fart on mic, forgetting that I was on mic, and someone just goes, "Did Steve Dangle fart?"
I didn't make that up. That's a thing that happened.
And I just went, no, like playing it off, and they're like, "You did."
Yeah.
Steve Dangle farted. But no, I was playing Fortnite, and some like 11-year-old is like, "Oh my god, it is you!" And we're talking, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not very good at this." He's like, "I know." I was just like, "Thank you, 11-year-old." And then I died very fast, and he kept going.
He's playing like on an iPad using one
He's
hand.
11, and I was like 29. I didn't do very good.
So, I think one time I was playing Star Wars, like the original Battlefront, like the one that came out in 2015. So it's not the original Battlefront, but anyway, I was playing it, and my name was just my name, right?
Yeah.
And then I had a couple SDP listeners message me afterwards and be like, "Oh, I saw you up there in the leaderboard, I fucking killed you," like stuff like that. I'd always finish with like I was like there's teams that are like 500, and then there's teams that are like really good. I'd have the occasional game where I'd go like 50 and 20, like 50 kills, 20 deaths. But then most of the time I was like 21 and 19 or something like that. And so usually they'd crush me.
You used to play on like a team with a bunch of buddies,
Yeah,
right? And they
I had-
got really good.
Dave, Philippe, and Mark, and
Adam
Dave
was
was
disgusting.
Dave was insane. Dave was the eldest of us all, and he wasn't that old, but he was like 45. And I think at this point I'm like 28, 29, and obviously pre having a child because there's no time for this. Dave had 2 kids. I don't know how he managed it, but he would come in, and there would be games where he would get, and the games would last 10 minutes, and there'd be games where he'd have 80 kills.
Oh my god!
And you're just
He's
like,
why
what-
I don't play.
Yeah, you're like, what the
Right.
fuck, man?
Right.
And if he wasn't the top on our team most games, he'd be upset about it. I think that was frustrating for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I remember one time I got close. I got like 65 kills in a game once, and I messaged the group. I was like, guys, I did this on my own. Whatever. Didn't have you guys there. And Dave responds back. He's like, "You're playing on a Saturday morning at 7 a.m." He's like, "Well, what kind of talent you think you're playing?"
Wow.
And he just ripped me to shreds.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and he was right. I mean, the talent gets better at night.
That's
So-
very unlike me.
And-
Well, because I played at 3:30 on a Sunday afternoon, and no one was playing Chell. But then I played last night, and no one was playing Chell.
Why is no one playing Shell?
Because the game's a disaster.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's just a disaster.
Is no one playing it?
No one's playing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's bad.
Tell me about it. What's the problem?
Well, so it's split across 2 consoles, so that's probably part of the problem.
There's no cross console.
Well, PS4 and PS5.
No,
And
it's
then
it's 4 different consoles.
Right.
If you break it down, so the 2 Xboxes and the 2 Sonys. Like they don't have any cross play. So if
Wow.
you're on PS4, you can't play a PS5 unless you're playing the PS4 game on a PS5, which you can do. But
Yeah.
you'd have to go out of your way to do that to play a PS4.
and you
friend.
need 12 people to play
Yeah.
6s.
Yeah.
So good luck.
How are you gonna find 12 people?
Well, exactly.
Yeah, the cross console things, like it's you need that as a barrier to entry just to get the amount of people you want on your game for it to be successful.
As I feel like we're the video game generation, like we grew up with all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and the rollout of the next generation Xbox and PlayStation is the weirdest I've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah, nobody has the consoles,
It's like
but
Sony
everybody
spent
has them.
bajillions of dollars on this, and then they were just like, "It's out, it's out. We've released 50 of them." And no one has the thing.
Right, and they have to keep making games for PS4 because there aren't enough PS5s out there.
Right.
Right. That's a failure. That's like Sega Dreamcast levels of failure.
Yeah,
And both companies did it.
but
Like,
PS5.
how did that happen?
PS5 is absolutely worth it.
It's
Yeah.
better, but and
It's
everybody
pretty great.
knows like 10 people who has one. Like everybody kind of knows somebody who has it, but everybody doesn't have it.
Yeah,
Might be
You
my
know, and you
next
can't play with everybody.
choice.
It's the worst rollout ever.
It's such a difficult justification to buy one though.
It's
Because
awesome.
again, no one has it, but you two have it?
Yeah, we both have it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It's
I'll
so
get one.
it's you notice the difference. It is better.
it's way better.
Yeah.
I've never killed a man, but I suppose I'm about to, because that's what you got to do to get your hands on one.
You do. Jesse, do you mind turning down my headphones just a little bit? You both have booming, wonderful, sexy voices, and
Yeah.
my ears are just splitting right now. Oh, a little too low.
I
A
turned
little
it
too low?
off.
Oh, that's
You can't hear anybody.
That is too much.
Okay.
I would just like a little. spritzing of Jesse
how's
and
that?
Steve. That's great.
How's that?
That's fantastic.
A little
There you go.
sprinkle.
So yeah, I mean, listen, it's a shame because I think it makes really I don't want to give the NHL 22 guys too hard of a time because it makes things really, really difficult. Like I remember one of my favorite games, Far Cry, was supposed to come out in fall of 2020, and they had to delay it like an entire year.
Well, how is a developer, like in their defense, supposed to succeed with
Working
these
from home.
restrictions?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
working from home and just make this compatible for 4 consoles.
100%.
What are you, nuts?
It's also too often. And a video game can't be released every 12 months. Every 12 months. Then you have like a 6-month window to build it because then you got to market it. Then you got to test it. Then you got to fix the old game. You got to keep up the service for the old one. It's too quick.
I don't
You need 2
understand
years.
the EA strategy on that one, especially as it pertains to hockey, because very clearly the investment that EA
niche.
makes is proportional to how each game sells.
Yes.
So if you play FIFA's insane. It's such a beautifully crafted art piece of a game. And I know FIFA players hate it and have their issues with it. But when I play FIFA versus what I play NHL, I feel like I'm playing soccer versus like the NHL where I feel like I'm playing an NHL video game. And that's why I don't really play the NHL games. I haven't for a while because they haven't changed much in the last 10 years. There was like a real jump around 2011, 2012 where you saw, like, you guys remember the first thing that came in was, and this was years ago, was the Blackberries. Remember, you got 2 Blackberries or 1 Blackberry?
Well, yeah,
You
it
earned
depends on
Those
the game
little
mode. Yeah,
franchise mode.
Yeah, franchise-
Gadgets, you
yeah.
know? Like they always add those.
They always had something, and then I know that they added the 3-on-3 tournament, and we've had some fun with that, but it's not something that, if I'm on my own, which most of the time I am, for playing video games, I'm not going to be, like, logging on to play threes against some fucking 12-year-old that's going to kill me, right? So I want to play the game mode where it's like what Jesse's doing on franchise mode. And I feel like with the NHL, what I would do, Adam, who knows dick all about video games, is why wouldn't you just release an NHL, let's say it's NHL 2022, and then say the new one doesn't come out till 2025. Take the time and release patches, release updates. Like Grand Theft Auto has been doing this for 10 years now with Grand Theft Auto 5.
Literally. Yeah.
You know, put new game modes out there, but leave the actual physical game to be the same and keep updating it. Keep updating the rosters, that sort of thing. And then in 2025, get the teasers going like a year beforehand and come out with something that just blows people away. People away.
2 things. I've already said this before, but for a number of months, the top EA SHL team, like they rank the top, or they show the top 5 on the load screen, and the team was, this game costs $125.
Actually?
Yes.
It's amazing. Amazing.
Awesome.
Also, the way you describe getting destroyed by some 12-year-old, I think if you were to play Threes Eliminator online, you would burst into flames.
Oh, I know it.
Because interference is allowed.
Oh.
Threes Eliminators is fun though. I
is fun.
played it a bunch at the beginning of the pandemic and I got like decent. Like I won like twice.
Jesse is very,
You know?
And then you
good
run
at Chell.
into 3 6'9"
Right.
enforcers.
And you run
and you want
who
to
can dangle.
shoot the console.
Right. You run into the guys who can do the Zegris and they're 6'9" and it's ridiculous. And then obviously they are dressed like monkeys. You know, but that's also a thing. And I stopped playing online a long time ago.
Because of reasons.
The constant racism.
Yes. Well, when you put it like that, you know.
Yeah, so that's I think there is I think it's gonna be really I feel like that's what they should move to. I feel like NHL fans understand that this is a smaller sport. And if you really want the game to be exciting and really want people to jump in, there are other ways to have microtransactions to make things like profitable.
Yeah.
You can make money without releasing a new game.
I think sales of 22 would go up if they said we're not making a 23.
Well, they'd have to, wouldn't they? You want to play hockey, that's what you're playing.
Well,
Right.
yeah, but like I think people would. I think there might actually be some relief in the community, to be honest.
Well, here's the other thing I wanted to ask. When you get all those cards and you get all your players lined up, isn't it annoying that you can't port them over to the next season?
Yeah.
Like if you're
You
what
spent all that money for what?
What if
what?
you had to pay a subscription or something like that to hang on to your cards, but at least then it guarantees them some income. And obviously you keep trying to make your team better, but you get, like if you're good, you're good. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you don't,
There's a way to do that.
There's a buddy of mine
something
that got like a Pele card in FIFA.
Mhm.
And he's like, I love it, but it came with instant anxiety because I knew I only had a certain amount of time to use it.
Right.
Like, I better win now because next season it could be completely different.
That's actually funny because I've gotten some very good cards in Hut before, and it made me play the game less.
Why?
Because I was like, I need to spread out my time with this card.
Right, because you can only play them for a certain amount of times or something like that?
Yeah, or like it would suck because like some of them would be limited to the amount of games, but others would be limited to an amount of days. And I'm like, bro, I got shit to do like the next few days. This sucks.
There are I'm playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now, and it's awesome, and you're like a Spartan soldier in it. And
Awesome.
I love Assassin's Creed. I think it's amazing. And one of the things that gets me is there are challenges that you have to complete, but you have like a day to do them, and then they disappear. And you're like, that's not going to make me play more. I have the time that I have.
I have a life.
Believe me, I would play more if I could, but I can't.
Why are you making me feel anxious to participate in your product?
Yes, I can't, and I don't want to do story mode because I got to finish these challenges that I'm going to get special shit in.
I think you're really right about the bigger the game, the more investment there is into it. Because if you look at the NHL game, it's the 5th most important sports game. Like Madden gets so much money invested.
NBA,
Madden,
2K,
the show. The show's 100% ahead of
the show
NHL.
is so good.
The show's incredible.
FIFA, we forgot.
And the show's done. Well, they've taken out some things that really put it ahead of all the other games because they were experimenting with year-to-year saves of your franchise mode. So if you have MLB The Show 21 and you start a franchise mode there, it could port over to MLB 22 The Show.
Why wouldn't they do that?
So that doesn't exist in the PS5 version anymore. And like your created stadiums, they lost all that. But they experiment with those things. So like I hope because that developing team over at Sony, like they do incredible things with that game. And like I hope that's something that they add back to the game, and continues. Because those are the things that sports, that's a reason to buy the game every year. Well, that you need to put those things in so that fans will be willing to spend the $120 every year. And just something as simple as a year-to-year save, like porting over your game, that's incredible.
And do a subscription. Like if you can't release it every year, do some sort of subscription. You get to keep all your shit, and you get to keep going. And you do it in 3-year increments.
Because of the annual cycle of like the game, I don't know how the other games are, but NHL is every September, right? And there are certain things, particularly for like the franchise mode, where if you have not done them by like about the dead of winter, then there's no point doing them.
Yeah. Formula One, the one I got it last year, it didn't come out till August, and that's halfway through the season. So that's annoying. The other thing is, so and the car has completely changed this year. So the car you're driving in the video game looks nothing and drives nothing like the car that we will drive this year. The annoying thing about it too is that like you could tell that EA is their first year with the game. You could tell they put a lot into the actual driving part of it. They really did. Like the driving mechanics are really good. You can get super specific with the weight of your car and how much gas you take and when you're pitting whatever, right? And you can build your own team. But like in career mode, I could just I got out of Formula 2 and I got elevated to Formula 1 because I won Formula 2. And then it's like, okay, sign with whoever you want.
Oh, that's not how that works.
I fucking hate that. So I signed with Williams on purpose, and because they're terrible. And then basically, like the first 6-7 races of the season, I couldn't finish. Remember, I won the league below, couldn't finish above like 17th, and it was really hard. So it tells you how hard it is, right?
Yeah.
But then I started to get it together, and I started winning some races and stuff. But again, you sign a contract with this team, and then you can like mid-season. Sometimes in Formula 1, your contract can be up if they don't extend you the full season. So I get to the September mark in my season, and I'm like, okay, I'm racing really, really well. I wonder what kind of offers I'm going to get. And then I go in, and it's like, oh, no, you can sign with anybody you want again.
No.
And they
didn't think of that.
No, I know. So I'm like, I have to make this as hard as possible then because... So I'm hoping what EA does next year is it's like the teams will offer you a deal maybe or something or it makes it really... I want it to be hard. I want it to be difficult. I love driving. I love driving games.
I haven't played FIFA for a long time, but when I played the EPL, I played with leads.
Oh,
because I wanted to make it as hard as possible.
I think I started with Man U, but I was terrible, so I got loaned to Blackpool in League 2. And yeah, I was trying to get them elevated or whatever, and then I got pulled, and then I got pushed, like I got pulled back to the team for like 2 games, and then it's like, sorry, we're loaning you to Bundesliga, and I was playing for the Red Bull team there, in Bundesliga. And I was like,
The
this
hell?
is bizarre. I know, but that's how soccer works. It's super weird.
To give EA a little credit, what I'm doing on NHL, like the game's been around for so long that they've kind of figured out everything in NHL in the franchise mode, and they just kind of left it alone for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's still good. Like they have all the little elements. The contract thing that you're talking about there, Adam, like every year, every time you run out your contract as GM, they offer you a new contract based on what you've done previously. So like, I'll get like 10 contracts from 10 different teams because I've gone to Stanley Cup final, but I've lost, but whatever. And you can get fired and those little things. And the salary cap's not 1-to-1. It's not, they still have the thing where if you just send somebody down the AHL, it's not against the salary cap. You know, two-way contracts don't count.
See, they should change. They should change.
They
that.
haven't fixed those little things, but what they have as a core, just because NHL franchise mode's been around for 15 years, that what they've left it alone. It kind of just still works every year. You
There
know?
you go. Well,
But-
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right. And I hope the F1 game gets to that point. You know, it's their first year. Maybe in 5 years, it'll just be like, okay, it's figured out. You know, career mode's decent now.
There you go.
Yeah. And that story mode they have too it's okay.
For
I got like halfway
Formula
through.
One?
Yeah, the Formula 1
yeah,
story
it
mode.
is. It's like an old driver and a young driver.
Yeah.
And basically it's Kimi Räikkönen and young British driver. So insert George Russell or Lando Norris here. And it's like, you know, old driver, former champion, past his prime. And you have to race as him sometimes, and then sometimes you race as his buddy, and like you pick the shitty team that you get to play for. So are you Aston Martin? Are you Williams? Are you know what I mean? And
The little cutscenes are good.
Yeah.
Like the graphics of the cutscenes.
some drama. But here's the
Yeah.
thing: like in it, you get off and based on how you race, your Twitter account, which you get, will tell you. Like they actually have the real broadcasters from the F1 broadcast on the Twitter account as well.
Awesome.
And you have to talk to the press afterwards and choose your answer and stuff like that. So based on how you race, it'll kind of show up in your Twitter mentions. So if you suck, it'll show up. But in career mode, you don't have that. It's
Yeah.
not there. I'm like, you did it for one mode. Why can't you do it for both?
No.
I know.
Mhm.
Anyway, listen. If we could be on the air long enough, I'm sure we could solve all the world's problems. But I just want. I think we all want NHL to be a better game. I think, to be honest with you, I feel bad for the developers these last couple of years. I think it's impossible. How are you going to make a great game for 4 consoles?
You can't.
You can't.
Yeah.
So make a good enough game. And I think what you do is you maximize what you can do on PS4, and then you try to innovate on PS5, same as Xbox. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Hey,
Hey.
you started incorporating Magic Spoon in your diet? Part of your morning routine? Listen, you might notice fewer cravings. You might notice more energy, and you might notice you're able to kind of hold over for lunch rather than, snacking in between. Magic Spoon is the place to go. We're talking 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4 net grams of carbs in each serving. It's only 140 calories in each serving. Steve, are you keto?
I can be.
Well, if you wanted to be, you could. If you were gluten-free.
I'm so mad at
could
myself.
be.
I could have said no. I'm Steve.
Oh, boo.
Shoot.
Grain-free, soy-free, low-carb. Build your own box. Available flavors, including cocoa, fruity frosted, peanut butter, cookies and cream, maple waffle, blueberry, cinnamon, plus the newly reformulated honey nut flavor that will now be added to Magic Spoon's permanent collection. Go to magicspoon.com, promo code SDP to grab a custom bottle of cereal, and make sure to use our promo code SDP at checkout to save $5 off your order. And Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed by a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/SDP and use the promo code SDP to save $5 off. Thank you, Magic Spoon, for sponsoring this episode. We've learned a lot since becoming our own little company rather than just the show. And the thing about clients is usually they demand instant responses, but now more than ever, businesses are spread thin. And if you're losing leads from visitors to your website or missing calls that could help grow your business, you need to delegate some of those frontline conversations to the best virtual reception service. We're talking about Smith AI. Smith AI provides businesses with award-winning virtual receptionists who handle your calls, your chats, your texts, and unlock new business for you at a fraction of the cost of hiring an in-house staff. Now, if you deal with Steve Dangle on a regular basis like I do, you know that Steve doesn't check his email.
Huh?
So here's the thing with Steve. I wonder if Smith AI can do this. Can it send you an email and then follow up with you via text to see that you read the email?
See, that I would actually respond then.
So the great thing about Smith AI is they integrate with your preferred software: Salesforce, HubSpot, Candidly, Zapier, and thousands more. So even though you're not involved on every call, you're always in the loop. Plus, they have English and Spanish speaking receptionists that will block spam for free, including annoying sales calls, and they can handle all calls, all after hours and during hours, or you could just do overflow, whatever you want. Work uninterrupted, run your business with less stress, and get more leads from your marketing efforts. Smith AI pays for itself and then some with new clients. For their receptionists, they help you win, never miss another lead, boost revenue, increase your focus at work, and keep staffing costs down. It's simple as forwarding your calls to Smith AI. Plans start at $240 a month, and our listeners will save $100 when you sign up with the promo code SDP at smithai.com. Visit Smith AI to read 5-star reviews, and make sure to use our code SDP to save $100 at sign up. Don't let another day go by. Try Smith AI. So the Leafs last night.
Speaking of solving the world's issues, the Philadelphia Flyers.
The Leafs play last night. No Matthews in the lineup. So they said it's a bodily injury. They wouldn't say upper or lower, and that it's minor. And he was
and
skating.
That it's new.
That's new.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
They've been really sketchy with injuries because also Jake Muzzin is out for undisclosed. That's his injury.
That David Alter video that went up yesterday of
I don't know.
Oh, it was Muzzin at practice.
What happened?
Not great, Bob. Oh, it's just him skating not very well.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The good news is the Leafs had a goal with a combined age of 108.
109.
109. Oh, okay. Well, I thought it dovetailed nicely because they now have 108 points for the first time ever.
Hey.
So that's Giordano, Spezza, and Simmons for anybody that didn't see the goal, and it was beautiful. It was really a throwback.
It was. And Yandel, 35.
He tripped
his
on
ankles,
himself.
Ankles confiscated. You can pick that shit up at Lost and Found.
So I was, when we were upset about Yandel being scratched, I felt like a lot of people were like, "Hey, well, he sucks," and I'm like, "Yeah, but he sucked before this year, and you still signed him."
Oh, so the rest of the Flyers suck too. So
yeah. Yeah, Yandel could never really defend. It wasn't like he was ever great on defense. He was an offensive guy.
Right. No, that's perfectly fair. Not everyone's great at everything.
Yeah.
Last night, also, the thing that bothered me was that the player he got scratched for was in the lineup with him.
I noticed that.
There
Ronnie,
was
Ronnie
a lineup that you could have played with Attard and Yandel. You didn't have to scratch him.
Yeah,
There's 8 games left.
They're rudderless, man. I was talking to someone today. The players are not happy. They're not having a good time. They need change bad.
Yeah, everyone there needs to go.
And I don't want to repeat myself, but what the fuck did you expect? What did you expect? This isn't a vendetta. This like me talking about Chuck Fletcher. He has no resume, guys. He has no resume of success. He does not. I believe he won a cup as what was it? An advisor when he was 25.
We ran down his entire resume for half an hour on one of our
guys. He does not at this level.
He started GMing at 25.
Yeah.
As a general manager, he does not have a track record of success. You gave him a blank checkbook, and he made a career's worth of unforgivable decisions in one summer with Philadelphia, and now they're fucked.
Well,
what do you do with that?
They were talking on the broadcast a little bit about who Philadelphia might go after in the summertime.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, GM, new coach.
No, not that. Just players. Now, Nazem Kadri's name has come up because who couldn't use Nazem Kadri, and frankly, it would give Morgan Frost a little bit of they could push him down to the third line a little bit.
They have players.
They have
talent.
Every team has players.
Yes.
Yeah.
But hang on. Let me finish this. So one of the guys that they named on the broadcast last night was Johnny Gaudreau.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, as I heard that, and it makes sense. Johnny's from the area, and Kevin Hayes is a good friend of his, and wants to bring him in. And
he was in Flyers rumors this summer.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so that'd be cool. But even 100-point Johnny Gaudreau does not fix this. What appreciable difference? Yes, I get it. You'll probably win a few more games.
Does he get to bring Matthew Tkachuk and Elias Lindholm with him?
Exactly. Exactly.
That line is so
it's so
criminally underrated.
So good. And it's not with Cam Atkinson there, you could probably put together something, somewhat similar. Cam Atkinson's just a bastard to play against. Just a jerk.
He's a Leaf killer. I bet
He
he
is.
has like average numbers against everyone else. He just
But
murders the Leafs.
just the Leafs. Or Konechny or whoever you want. But I feel like
Yep.
there's something else here. Is it the fact that they got 4 games out of Ryan Ellis so far? Is it the fact that Carter Hart is not the Carter Hart we saw a couple years ago? Is it the fact that, Martin Jones is the same Martin Jones we've been seeing for a long time? Like, what do you do? I know Couturier's got to come back too, but
Here's how bad the Flyers are. And so I've been paying attention to them a little bit more and more. And obviously they played the Leafs twice recently. Here's how bad the Flyers are. They got me going to bat for Martin Jones. Hard. What is he supposed to do? Prime Dominic Hasek isn't fixing this shit.
no. Maybe.
The Connor Sherry goal is always good for a laugh. If I'm in a bad mood, I can go back and look at that. And know that I will never be as bad at anything as
If you think
they
you're-
were at defending that play.
If you think you're lonely, you'll never be as lonely as Connor Sherry was on that
In
goal.
front of Martin Jones.
Yeah.
Right. Martin Jones just also isn't very good.
No, he's not.
The last
but
time he put
what's
up-
he supposed to do?
The last time he put up a 900 save percentage was 17-18. Where were you in 17-18?
17. That was the first year of. Was that Tavares' first year? Or was that Marlowe's first year? That was Marlowe's first year, not Tavares.
Anyways, it's been 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons since he's put up a 900. He's 896, 896, 896.
Stop signing.
897.
Stop signing with teams have bad defense, Martin.
Well,
Like,
the
Go
what
somewhere
choice-
boring.
What
Go to
choice?
Nashville.
What choice did Martin Jones have?
No, I know.
Yeah.
He's
I
bought
know.
out, and Ray Ferraro, I think, said it last night too. He was bought out of the last 3 years of his deal.
Mhm.
Yeah, wowzers, dude. But again, I don't think any goalie would have helped last night.
No, not last night.
And also, you see, there are teams that, guys come in and they're exciting after the deadline and you sell off and, the vets have something to play for. That team mentally is on whatever beach they want.
They're done.
They're not there. That's part of the reason I didn't like the Lyubushkin hit at the end of the game. It wasn't so much that you're not supposed to hit, which I got a lot of, but
What do you mean you're not supposed to hit?
no,
Explain that one.
Well, you're supposed to play the full 60.
Play to the whistle.
So McEwen did something to Lyubushkin earlier in the play
Mhm.
that I obviously missed, and then Lyubushkin went to throw an end of the man. If he connected with that thing, holy shit! If he connected with that thing, it would have been a line brawl. It's 5-2.
It was Scott Stevens-esque.
Yeah, with 70
Yeah.
seconds left, and he almost took the
Stupid.
Flyers tough guy's head off. But what I didn't like is for the final 70 seconds of the game, it was the first time we saw the Flyers try all night.
Ooh.
100%. 100%. And I'm not insulting them. I'm not insulting the players. It's very obvious they're miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And you could look and say, for 1,000 reasons, why, can't you sympathize? And I don't see any other team in the league quitting like they're quitting. They're done. They don't. This will wake hockey people up, because hockey people, you tell them about a lack of talent, they go, no, there's something there. The Flyers have a culture problem.
What do you do about it?
You either do a real good job this summer, bringing in a couple vets, and hopefully you get an exciting rookie or two, or you blow the thing to smithereens.
There's a lot of long-term deals here, man.
I
Kevin
know.
Hayes has got.
I know.
Kevin Hayes is signed for $7 million a year till 25-26.
You
You got Couturier's extension kicking in, and that doesn't end till 2030.
losing Couturier really hurts.
Of course.
You talk about losing Ryan Ellis. I think that one's even bigger. Kevin Hayes looks so dejected right now, and he's someone who I could see. First of all, horrible season, in terms of off the ice.
Yep.
Just really
Terrible.
But I think he's the sort of guy with a renewed, a summer to clear his head, a summer to get the body right. He's a vet. I'm sure he's got tons of bumps and bruises. If you can give him a reason to be inspired for next season, I think you get him back at 1,000% and he's lighting it up again.
Mhm.
But again, that's one guy. And the back end is such a problem.
Yeah.
Such a problem.
You have a bit of an opportunity to rebuild it. Like you have Provorov, Ristolainen, and Steinham. Like you're kind of stuck with those three.
And
What
then-
happened to Provorov?
Well, I
Yeah.
think this year happened to Provorov. Ristolainen and Sanheim. I don't mind Sanheim,
Yeah, Ristolainen's kind of the only
fine.
problem there.
which you gave up 2 first-rounders for and then signed to an
Yeah.
extension. Is that what happened?
Is double down. Old double down.
Like,
Yeah, I made a
Oh.
bad trade for this player. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to double down.
he is
What did they
signed.
give him?
They gave him
5.1.
a slight discount from 5.4 to 5.1, and that goes till 2027.
And to refresh your mind, the trade was Robert Hagg,
Robert Hagg. Yeah.
a first-round pick and a second-round pick to Buffalo for Rasmus Ristolainen alone.
No player willing to take a pay cut to stay with your team is worth keeping around till 2027. And I'm not talking about someone. Yeah, I'm not talking about someone willing to take like a hometown discount.
Whoa.
Like Morgan Riley is, people are praising that contract. Make no mistake, he's still getting a significant raise.
And but he also wanted to stay here, right?
And he wanted to say, Rasmus Ristolainen's taking less money.
That's because
And
he
you
was like, "Oh
signed
my
him to-
God, somebody offered me $5 million
Right.
plus. I'm taking."
He's not
that."
getting this in free agency.
He does never. He never gets close to this in the open
Why
market.
did they offer it to him?
Because
they can't trade that many assets and lose him to unrestricted free agency, no matter how bad.
his
it is.
agents saw a team that was desperate, a GM that was desperate, and they took out their fishing rod and they cast their line directly into the barrel. Dude, they're the problem is above Chuck Fletcher.
What's the problem above? Well, the guy that hired Chuck Fletcher.
Yes. Because to me, it's very obviously you need a sharp right turn here. But again, the culture or the mindset is doubling down. So they just let this guy double down on Rasmus Ristolainen. The guys who brought in Chuck Fletcher, what do you think? They're going to pull the chute? No, they're going to double down on the guy, and they're going to be like, no, he can get his way out of this. All he needs is a few more dollars to make a hit. It's like that friggin' I think you should leave skit. Guys, they're not. Oh, boy. They need so many things. We're talking about the Flyers optimistically right now, the way we used to talk about the Leafs. If Carter Hart has a resurgent season, if Ellis and Couturier can come back perfectly healthy, if this summer clears their minds, if they hit on this rookie, if they sign this guy, there's too many ifs. I am more optimistic about the New Jersey Devils than I am about the Philadelphia Flyers. And you know how I feel about that. Yeah, but because post-deadline, I'm looking at them play and I'm like, they got some guys. Look at that. They friggin' just cost Vegas their entire season without Jack Hughes. That's wild. Watch them still make it. I don't know.
I think too. In retrospect, you guys remember the Bobby Clark interview from earlier this year where he was just ripping Ron Hextall?
And
being
where's
like,
Ron?
Ron's heading
In
up
the playoffs.
heading the Pittsburgh Penguins up, and they're doing great.
Yeah. Oh, he made this mistake. All right, Bob. Okay, your turn. Your turn. What's the list? Run us through the list there, Bob. When was the last time they did anything? Oh, yeah, you were there on the ice. Buddy.
Oh,
he's
Legion of Doom.
been there a very long time.
Legion of Doom. Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom. Yeah, no, I mean actually winning the thing. Legion of Doom. They made the Cup final in 2010. Everyone
did.
seems to forget about
We
that.
do forget that, and we forget the Rangers have made it a couple times too.
Oh yeah, that Lundqvist year.
Yeah.
He was on fire.
Oh, it broke my heart.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I just think like it's so bad because clearly when Ron Hextall got fired, there was clearly a reaction to him, and I think there was some confirmation bias because the next year Carter Hart came in and surprised a lot of people and was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But Ron Hextall was saying long term this is not the move. That's why he got fired. What do we have?
Bang.
And Jesse, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say. Speaking of, you were talking about New Jersey upsetting. Last night, Tampa got upset by Detroit as well. It looked like over the weekend that it was checkout season for all of these teams.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday, favorites went 14-0 against their opponents.
Wow.
If you had bet $100 on every single favorite on the Saturday night sked of games, how much money do you think you would have won?
Well, how much money did you win, Jesse?
How much money do you think you would have won if you went 14-0 on Saturday?
If I bet how much?
$100.
If I bet $100,
on every single favorite just to win their game.
1,500.
Adam?
Man, I don't know. It's 1750.
$34,000.
What?
If you had just lined up the favorite, because it was checkout season in the NHL. All the teams who are not going to make the playoffs aren't really trying.
Is that parlayed?
Yeah, if you parlayed all
somebody
of them
did that.
together.
Yeah, if you get 14 in a row, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
if you parlayed them all together, if you just said, hey, all the favorites are going to win on Saturday in the NHL, you would have won $34,000 on a $100 bet. Anyways, I thought that was fucking unbelievable.
There goes your student debt. Wow.
But yeah, last night it shocked me that I saw Detroit try really hard and they upset Tampa, and then New Jersey as well, knocking off Vegas. I thought they were guaranteed wins.
Okay. I got it. Can we talk about this? Because I actually have this lined up as a topic anyway.
Okay, and then are we going to get back to the Leafs or Leafs?
Well, this is Leafs.
Oh, yeah.
This is Leafs.
Oh, yeah.
So my question to you is, and it's time that we start talking about it because we're 2 weeks out. Who do you want?
Well, they're going to get Tampa.
Well, they are. They could. But the reality is,
it's like 6 and 8, right? They're pretty. Like
Are they?
what's the back from Florida and the up on Tampa?
I thought there was only a 3-point spread. No, they're not going to necessarily get Tampa. Boston is 99 and Tampa's got 100.
Oh, okay.
How many games has Tampa
Same,
played?
76.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Boston.
Guys, this is a really close race.
It could be Boston or Tampa.
So my question is,
I think people were anticipating a win last night.
yeah.
Fuck the numbers up. Oh.
So and that's the weird thing is that Tampa has lost some odd games, and it does have.
I don't know what that's like.
I know, no kidding. But I think there's Leafs odd, which is actually pretty regular. Like, oh, we're up 5-1 and we lost 6-7.
Or we're not going to try tonight versus Buffalo.
Yeah. Whereas Tampa, it's like these guys for 2, 3, 4 years have been a machine. Whether or not they found the success in the playoffs, they've been a machine in the regular season. This year, I mean, listen, they got 100 points. They're still a great team. But are they the team that they were? A lot of people are questioning that. It's a very slight difference. The other thing is, a lot of people, CJ's been saying this since the beginning of the year. He's like, man, is this the last hurrah? Is this the last dance for the Bruins? You know, is this the last time they're going to be able to do it all together? I think Bergeron will be back. I don't think you quit when you're playing as good as Patrice Bergeron is playing.
I say it every year, and I'm done betting against him. But this is just a statement of fact.
Okay.
At some point, he's got to stop being this good.
It ain't this year.
It's not this year,
No.
but at some point, he's got to. You have to. No one plays forever at that level. Yager plays forever, but you'll notice
not at
it's
that level.
not here.
Yeah.
It's not in the NHL. He's in the.
He buys his own teams now and he plays for them.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Hey, coach, I think you maybe have too much ice that you're fired.
On the Tampa thing, I'll give credit to Jeff Merrick and Elliot Friedman on this.
Why?
But
Fuck them. No, I'm kidding. We love those guys.
But when you make the 2 deep runs in the playoffs and you come back for the 3rd year, those extra games that are not regular games, they're games where you're trying extra hard, and the amount of games that you play in comparison to every other team who's not making those deep runs, that 3rd year is usually where it gets the toll on you. And we might be seeing tired legs out of Tampa coming up on this 3rd playoff run, and we just may be running out of room in their stamina.
It's so hard to know because, like, even last year, I believe their first round series with Florida was the 2-3 seed, and I think they were the 3. And
They were the 3, and they were done in 5 games?
6.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that series was closer than we remember.
Yeah.
That
Florida's
series was
great.
bananas.
Sort of the
sandwich.
Florida Panthers coming out party. I think that's when people started to go, oh, there's something here.
Well, and what's wild is they got no goaltending, and Aaron Ekblad was hurt. Which, I mean,
oh my God, it's like this year.
this year they could have goaltending, but Aaron Ekblad is hurt.
Yeah.
Imagine, well, you don't have to imagine too hard them getting out of the first round, and then Ekblad joins them for the second potentially. And holy shit, there could be a decent little path there for the Florida Panthers.
The team versus Boston and Tampa, the team that doesn't get the Leafs, who do they play? on the standing.
They will play.
The Metro is a mess right now. So it's the winner of the Metro, but
Yeah, it could be Carolina or New York.
Because New York could pass Carolina. So it's Carolina or New York?
Yeah, they're tied exactly. Like they're dead even right now.
look at
I'm
the last
Tampa,
10 for those teams.
I can only look at the last 5 because it's a Sportsnet
Oh,
website.
never mind.
They don't. I don't know why they do
The
last
Hurricanes
5.
and Penguins have not been good.
No. it looks like the Rangers might steal that division.
And the Caps, who
Which
have
is
been
sick.
pretty ordinary this season, have been good, actually.
Yeah. If I'm Tampa, I probably want to face a Metro team and not go up against Toronto. Like the losing, I probably don't mind it.
Although, if you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, are you not looking at Toronto like, look at Boston,
Not
those fools?
Not this year.
No?
Yeah, no.
Because there's a lot of people still holding that, and I think rightfully so. If you're a Leaf fan, I think we can leave the Bruins thing in the past a little bit because it is a completely different team from 2 years ago in 2020 when they last played the Bruins in the play. Or no, sorry, 2019 I think was the last time they played the Bruins in the playoffs. It's been a while.
Yes.
Right? Like we can safely say the team has changed since then. Different coaching style.
A little bit.
Matthews and Marner are way different players than they were.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But still, there is a stigma around the Leafs, and I think even if the Leafs finished number 1 in the league, like where the Panthers are right now,
By 50 points.
people would still be like, they might be the underdog because of what has happened in the playoffs. Spezza said it last night after the game. He was like, that opportunity we blew against Montreal has been with us all year.
How do you look at the Leafs taking on the Lightning and the Leafs taking on the Bruins and thinking of them as anything but the underdog? How?
Well, let's go through that. So okay, I can see the Lightning 2-time Stanley Cup winners.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
There it
Maybe they don't have the Barclay Goudreau Blake Coleman line anymore, but they've got
Yanni Gourde.
They got Yanni Gourde and Hagel and people forgot they got Hagel.
Nick Paul.
Nick
has been
Paul.
a good fit.
Really good fit. So that it's still a pretty solid lineup all the way through. Boston is a team that's changed a lot.
Eric Cernak, Alan Walsh client. Sorry.
do we have to shout that out every
Yes, we
time?
do. Martin Firk. How can we work Martin Firk into this conversation? Sorry.
Does Martin Firk shoot? Is he a good shooter?
I think he might be. He has a lot of goals. Sorry, talk about Boston.
The line. Look at the line combinations here. You've got Marchand, Bergeron, and Jake DeBrusk right now because I believe is Pasternak not out with an injury?
I'm not sure.
I think he's got an injury. And then you got Hall. People forget Taylor Hall, second line player. Eric Haula, Curtis Lazar.
Big omission for the Bruins that people underrate is David Krejci not being with the team.
He is not with the team, but Charlie Coyle was a hell of a pickup a few years ago, right before that Leaf series for a 3rd-round pick.
It wasn't a lot. Good player, good fit.
Good fit.
Ryan Donato, I think, was in that deal.
Nick Foligno was on the team on the 4th line as well. Man, we played a first and 2 for us for now, a guy who was a 4th liner. That's rough. Trent Frederick.
You need your back.
This is the line. Trent Frederick, Charlie Coyle, Craig Smith. And it's not because this line is overly insanely good, but it's one of those lines that in the playoffs, you're going to go, fuck.
It's very
I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
by
Trent
these guys.
Frederick's a great hockey player.
Yeah, I really like him. I'm waiting for his big breakout season points-wise. Craig Smith, analytics god, and Charlie Coyle, just big dude who wears a B on his chest, which is something Boston loves. Local boy, pretty sure. They get great goaltending. So
They do.
if they start Ullmark and he goes down, you get Swayman, who that might even be worse.
Yeah.
Or they could start Swayman and then you go to Ullmark and there's no rest
Right.
there. There's no I'm gonna go for that weak spot. Not really. They don't really have one.
The major difference, I think, is on defense. No more Chara. No more. Who's the other guy that
Islanders don't have him either. He's
not Chara anymore. Who's the guy who went to St. Louis? He went to St. Louis. Who was the guy?
Krug.
Thank you, Torrey Krug. But you do have Grzelcyk and McAvoy.
Stop snapping.
I'm snapping and I'm like, guys, what's the name? And you guys are like, I'm not even listening. I'm gonna keep going with my
We're
conversation.
looking at the Daily Face-Off.
So obviously still strong but different. The way that Krug moved the puck and the way that, frankly, Zdeno Chara was allowed to just assault people.
I mean,
in the last couple of series, it really did make a difference. It did.
Poor guy has never committed an infraction in his life.
Who's Zdeno?
Yeah,
He should win the Lady Bing.
I greatly enjoy footage of him taking penalties because he has these sewer grate eyes that just go, "What are you talking about? What do you mean I'm not allowed to perform dentistry with the shaft of my stick?" No, Zdeno, that's never been allowed. We've just been too afraid to tell you. But now we can at least confidently assume you won't be able to catch us.
Right.
If you do, we're dead, but you won't be able to catch us. So we call the penalty and then we run. That's how it works. Anyway, Chara comes up anyway, rent-free. But there, I said it for you.
I worry more about the Lightning.
Do you?
Yeah.
I mean, they're the back-to-back champs.
Yeah.
How do you not?
But you did mention, Jesse, the 32 thoughts. Fuck those guys. You mentioned
32 fucks.
32 fucks. Yeah.
The tired legs thing, I think, is definitely a thing. When you play that many playoff games, it takes a toll on you. But I look at Andrei Vasilevsky and I say, hey, there's a guy who can win 4 games.
There's a guy with enormous pads.
I look at I look at Victor Hedman.
There's a guy with humongous fucking pads.
Victor Hedman, Steven Stamkos, Nikita Kucherov. There's too many game breakers on Tampa that I'd be like, you know what? Leafs will get it next year.
And this, I
want
this.
Boston.
So Victor Hedman and Jan Ruda, Alan Walsh-Klein. But what still pisses me off about Tampa, are we making that a thing, by the way, is Alan Walsh-Klein?
We probably should. Also, I think I might have been, unless he's got Ruda and Cernak. What an age.
He might, well, Ruda for sure. Hedman, McDonough, and Sergachev is still a third pairing defenseman for them.
Man, fuck them.
Like, and look at this. This is the thing, man. It's not just their third line, Killorn, Cirelli, and Hagel. This fourth line, as much as it was sort of funny when the Leafs played Patrick Maroon and he was just, yelling at the ceiling as he does sometimes. Maroon, Bellemare, and Corey Perry. And it's playoff Corey Perry.
It's just so much weight. It's so much goddamn weight.
Yeah.
And Perry, he's got a little bit of the extra veteran shine. I mean, there's a guy who should have just as tired of legs as the rest of the Lightning. He's been to back-to-back Cup finals against them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Knocked the Leafs out 2 years in a row. Corey Perry, maybe this year again.
Don't do that to me.
The Leafs' fourth line will have a decided disadvantage against Tampa's fourth line.
What about versus Foligno Nosek and Mark McLaughlin or Craig Smith, I guess, in depending upon where everybody slots in when Pasternak comes back.
Frederick was a healthy scratch the other night, I know, so maybe.
They're trying stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, so are the Leafs. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know McLaughlin existed.
Mark McLaughlin.
Nosek, he's just guy. He's fourth line guy. And Foligno, we know what he is, but we also know what stage of his career is at. And we know he's going to leave it on the ice. Because how many kicks at the can do you get at this?
Mm-hmm.
I just looked something up and I wish I hadn't.
What?
I looked at the injuries for Boston. Forgot Hampus Lindholm is a Boston Bruin.
Right.
And he's day to day. So that defense core just
Forgot about that.
It's and this is where the Leafs fourth line question does come up. Because last night, it was so nice to see them score whatever. Spezza's first goal in 21 games. I thought when Kyle Clifford's been on, he's been effective at doing whatever Kyle Clifford does. If you're expecting him to do something else, it's like asking a fish to climb a tree. It's not going to happen, but he does what Kyle Clifford does. Do the Leafs, I know that Matthews and Marner and Bunting are spectacular. I know that Tavares is strong defensively. I know that Willie can step up and score, 5 goals in 7 playoff games. We've seen that happen. Mm-hmm. I know that third line is probably the best third line we've ever seen with the Leafs.
It's been strong for a long time.
And there's 6 players who have rotated in and out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But without Andre Kasha, presumably, what kind of strength are you going to have with the Spezza-Simmons combo on that fourth line? Right? And it's not, I'm not trying to take away from either player. I think Spezza's been pretty Spezza this year. I think Wayne Simmons, to me, is the one that's had the drop-off. And I hate saying that because I love Wayne Simmons. People love Wayne Simmons in Toronto, and they should. But I wonder what's going to happen. What happens in those minutes when they're on the ice?
I was having a good conversation with someone about a potential series against the Lightning, and they were talking about going with speed to match Tampa's speed. And I think that the two most underrated things about Tampa is how they defend
mm-hmm.
and how tough they are. Because
And how padded Andre Vasilevsky is.
how
I'm
padded
just
Andre.
saying that for Canadians fans, by the way.
But
Andre Vasilevsky's 5'2",
Yeah.
without pads.
He's literally Darren Pang. It's Darren Pang with a mask.
it's and a Russian, like a poorly done Russian accent. Like,
Yep.
Darren, why do you do that?
108.52 Andre Vasilevsky.
And he doesn't tell his employer. He's just got to go on a lot of trips, right? So he's living a double life as an analyst and also
Oh, bang.
yeah,
Banger.
he's living a double life as an analyst and also the Tampa Bay Lightning starting goaltender. It's
That's a good
difficult.
theory.
Yeah.
That'd make a good cartoon.
Yeah,
It would. It would.
Hello, Sunday mornings.
Drawn like the old Batman, like the
Yeah.
Adam West Batman.
Yeah,
Where were we?
We're talking about the we're talking about
speed versus
lineups.
yeah. No, I think what you go up against Tampa with is I mean, the Leafs and Lightning to me are very similar styles. The Lightning have an advantage in net and they have an advantage on D. But I would I mean, their fourth line is there to slow you down, which brings their speed up. So if I'm the Leafs, I'm trying to match that. I'm trying to hammer you with, I probably go with the bigger body in Spezza, Simmons, Clifford. Yeah, don't throw Abruzzese to those Wolves. That's
Yeah.
You're saying it wrong.
Abruzzese.
Abruzzese, because that's what they say. That's how they tell.
There's
them
an
to say it.
apology to all the Italians on the broadcast last night.
Are we doing that now?
No,
no,
continue with
we can talk
the fourth line.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna stay on.
Well, I do want to bring up 8 numbers that are
Please.
significant to this conversation. 842, 913, 846, 857, 946, 966, 769, 871. That is not my phone number. That is Andre Vasilevsky's last 8 games.
When did those games take place?
Not great. They took place from March 29th to April 19th.
Oh, just checking that wasn't the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's a different season, Steve.
You're totally right. You're totally
the
right.
dude's gonna show up game one.
Literally, who gives a
Yeah,
shit?
I don't know.
You're so right.
And
So is this conversation then a waste of time? Because, like, again, it all starts anew.
right,
It completely starts anew.
It's such an important thing. How there's really 2 seasons in the NHL, like in any other sport. You know, there's a playoff style hockey, and then there's a regular season style hockey. And guys, they play different. And they step up. And the Pasta thing, like Pastrnak would be in the lineup tonight if there's game 1.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like that injury that has him out for a couple games here, and next couple coming up, like that wouldn't keep him out of the playoffs because guys are playing through whatever it takes.
So would
And-
Matthews, so would Muzzin, so would, I don't know, maybe Lindholm.
Probably not Muzzin. Like I don't.
That footage is
based on
tough.
what you saw. in
You know what
practice.
though? If we can get Sandin back,
Yeah.
and Justin Hall is on the thing, I'm pretty okay with Morgan Riley, Labushkin, Brody, say Sandin, and Giordano Liljegren.
I think they keep it just the way it is.
Really?
Mhm.
Man, Justin Hall still makes me really nervous. Really nervous.
They are 12-2-1 with Giordano in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
They're fucking good.
I was there for that. I was there for his first game against the Devils
That was the black jersey one.
or the D-Vels. if you
Yeah,
know,
the
from Italy.
Devils. I believe the Leafs won.
Yes, that was the black jersey game, and it was great.
That fourth line, they got 4 guys that they're just gonna rotate in, right?
Mhm.
Like the Simmons, Clifford spot, like that'll just be either one. Spezza's probably gonna stick around unless we see like game 1 and 2. Spezza just doesn't have it, you know.
Scratching Spezza game 1 of the playoffs is a tough look.
Right. So he'll play those first 2 games, I think, and then if he doesn't have it, maybe it's game 3. He doesn't make the lineup, and then Blackwell's probably going to slot in there somewhere as well.
He looks wonderful.
Yeah,
Blackwell
he
looks
does.
amazing.
I hope they bring him
Like
back.
he's got a permanent slot there, and I said this earlier. Like that fourth line's not going to make or break this series. It's going to be the first 2
You
lines.
gotta get the guys
It's Tavares,
scoring.
it's Matthews, it's
Yeah.
Marner, it's Nylander.
So, with all that said, who do you want? Guys, you got to make a pick, and I will make one too. And I want to see listen, even if you're not a Leafs fan, pretend you're a Leafs fan, leave it in the comments. Who do you want the Leafs to play in the first round? Who's got the best? I guess if you're a Bruins fan, you're like us. But I want to know whether it's chaos theory or you are like us and you want the Leafs to win. Who is it?
I often fantasize about this story and how it will unfold. And any path to the Stanley Cup will be a satisfying one. the most satisfying one is through Boston.
And you're saying Boston.
I'm saying Boston.
Jesse Blake.
Tampa is gonna destroy whoever they face in the Metro. Like if it's the Rangers, like that's 6 games. I don't know. Like all the money's on Tampa, Carolina. Like I don't know, playoff Freddie. Like what are we gonna get there?
Mm-hmm.
So
Vasilevsky Shesterkin in the first round, or not first. Oh yeah,
It'll be
potentially the first round
yeah.
is nuts.
I don't know. I think Boston gets that slot. I think
You
Tampa.
win your division, you play Tampa.
Right?
Yeah, that sucks.
Somebody in Metro is gonna get screwed.
That sucks ass. That's
that
terrible.
shouldn't be. You should. How about this new rule? You win your division, you get to pick,
How about this new rule? Go back to the way it was.
or that.
Just seed it. It's easy.
Baseball has you can pick your opponent if you get the certain. We almost had it last year. If there's a 3-way tiebreak, you can pick your opponent. And the I forget who was between. It was the Red Sox, Blue Jays, and I think the Rays. I want to say, and the Red Sox picked the Jays to face in there, so because they had to submit their list to the MLB just in case it happened, and we didn't get it. But they have a little thing where if there's a 3-way tie at the end of the year, you can pick your opponent, and based on the home and away games, we almost had it. It was beautiful.
I wouldn't want to pick that because if you lose,
Yeah,
you will never live that
that's why
down.
it's awesome.
You're instantly
That's amazing.
Like a Disney
But
game.
I think it'll be Boston, Toronto, and then I think taking Toronto in that series.
And unless Boston, Washington, and Pittsburgh can't win 2 games in the next 6 or 7, depending upon how many games they have left, every single team in the Eastern Conference that makes the playoffs will have on over 100 points this year.
Nice.
We're starting to see the path take shape. Oh yeah, sorry.
Well,
every single team would have
every
100?
single team will have over 100 points. I say likely if Washington comes in the second wild card, which is what they're expected to do, I think they're going to have a minimum 104 points. That's the cutoff now. And I hate to bring this up. No, I don't. The salary cap is supposed to bring parity to this league.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck? How can you look at me now or tweet me now with a straight face and go, but it does? It does not.
The Eastern Conference is like a pizza with 2 sets of toppings.
Yeah.
And the Islanders are that one piece with a stray pepperoni
A
on
little
it.
crossover. Yeah.
Like,
But the Islanders only, no, man. The Islanders are only 4 points up on Columbus. They've got 80 points.
man, oh man.
On this, did you see the article by Pierre LeBrun 2 days ago
About the 3-2-1
about
points?
the
Haven't had a chance.
And the large reason, because so he was there the last lockout, the last 2 lockouts, every lockout. Pierre LeBrun's been around forever, and he's
old. I love you, Pierre.
He was standing outside of the GM meetings when they're all discussing the rule changes coming out of the 04-05 lockout, and one of the things they were going to implement was a 3-2-1 point system. And in the end, the shootout made it. All the rule changes that came out of that lockout made it. And the 3-2-1 system didn't make it. It was the one thing that got dropped off. And he revisited that conversation with a couple GMs, Brian Burke's in there, and a couple people who were largely in that deciding factor. And the thing the GM said was that they didn't want to implement the 3-2-1 system because it would get rid of parity. And it would separate the good teams from the bad teams.
Oh, man. I love controlled mediocrity. It's my favorite. Wins and losses, kids. Wins and losses.
The GMs wanted the lesser teams to have a couple free points. Like, so when you go to the shootout, you get your bonus point, you get the loser point. They needed that in there, and they needed the win to only be 2 points so that it could prop up the bottom half of the standings.
What
Disgusting.
What league in North America makes the most money, has the most valuable teams?
The NFL.
The NFL.
The NFL, who does not give a fuck.
And they have a
if
salary
you
cap.
Stink.
They have a mix. They have a luxury tax and a hard cap, which is
remember
what
they-
I keep advocating, by the way.
Remember they changed the rules to make Detroit good?
No, they never did that. And Detroit continued to suck.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck, Lions. Good luck, Jaguars. Good luck, friggin' Browns. They don't care if you stink. If you stink, boo. Get unshitty. Boo. Spend some money. Don't have it. Figure it out. Boo.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, the owners of the Lions are the Ford family.
Still?
Yeah.
What?
I believe
like
Sheila,
the cars.
Yeah.
I was
Martha
like, why does Doug Ford?
And literally, one of them, Martha Firestone Ford, is quite literally the daughter of the Firestones and the Fords.
Are you serious?
Like the tire and the.
That's kind of funny.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Wow.
Yeah. Anyway, just that's.
Mr. Peanut Butter married Jelly. now Schmucker's Jelly is married to Mr. Peanut Butter.
Same with
You got chocolate in my peanut butter.
there's the the Rooney family. Art Rooney has since passed, but the Rooney family own the Pittsburgh Steelers. Still do. The Mara family owns the New York Giants. There's a very famous actress whose name is quite literally Rooney Mara, who is one of their daughters, and Kate Mara is another one of the daughters of two people that married between the Steelers and the Giants.
Wow.
Owners.
Just billionaires marrying billionaires.
So Rooney Mara, I think, was really known for like Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and Kate Mara was in House of Cards.
Oh, she was the main actress.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who that is.
Yeah, you'd know who Rooney Mara was if you saw.
No, I've seen House
If you
of
saw
Cards.
her, you would know who she was.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're very good actresses. Like they're extremely talented. But it's just so funny. Eh? There's like a small circle, right? And by the way, Rooney Mara is literally her name. So
Wow.
That's awesome.
I can't wait to see all the hockey Twitter royal families. Like, just this person is married to that person. And
I wonder if there
years
is.
from now. You could do some of those.
and we
with
could.
with the standings. We should take a look at the West there because the West race is interesting between Vancouver, Vegas, and LA.
Yeah, and Vancouver really blew that extra point last night against Ottawa.
Yeah.
After winning 6.
Yeah.
That's such a tough one because it's like you have to win this one, but also like Christ, they won 6 straight.
But thank God the GMs voted against a 3-2-1 system so that all these teams could be in this playoff race.
Vegas lost to the Devils this week, guys.
And the Kings beat the Ducks,
and
good for them. They're gonna make it. It's hilarious. I'm gonna make brash statements about the Kings until I'm right or wrong.
Will
You would be great on ESPN.
Yeah.
now, if you're not a fan of the Kings and you don't like seeing them good again, just remember Mark Bergevin's there. So have heart. They'll probably be mediocre.
Damn.
But
I'm torn between hating Mark Bergevin and supporting Alan Wall's client, Sean Dursey, and his pursuit at the Stanley Cup playoffs. And I hope they call up Martin Furt, also noted Alan Wall's client. I hope they trade for Nathan Walker, Adam, or at least they play each other in the playoffs. So Alan Wall's client, Nathan Walker, could take on Alan Wall's client, Martin Furt, and Alan Wall's client, Sean Dursey, in the Stanley Cup playoffs. How you doing?
Oh man, I'm good.
You doing good?
Woo, Vancouver.
You know who's doing even better? Alan Wall's client, Sean Dursey, who was a +1 last night. I learned.
Did you hear the news of Alan Walsh client Marc-Andre Fleury playing one more year?
Mm-hmm.
That's so great, Adam, that Alan Wall's client, Marc-Andre Fleury, is going to play another season after this one.
My not so hot take is that how these standings are right now is how they're going to finish in 2 weeks.
Explain. Show you.
I got Vegas and
That's
Vancouver.
how as bad the standings are. No, I see what
I
you're
got
saying.
Vegas and Vancouver missing.
I do too, and
Yeah.
the reason is Nashville's very strong, and
They
they're in a
are.
tough division. And Dallas, listen, Dallas has let me down for 2 years since that playoff run. I thought they were spectacular, and they just can't fucking score. And I don't know why each year they go by and they're like, you know what, we're still not going to solve that problem. But they've got 43 wins. They're stronger defensively than Vegas or Vancouver. And I just think that they've been there. And I think them missing last year had a lot more to do with a COVID outbreak than really the team talent. Do you know what I mean? Remember they missed like a month?
Yeah.
And so,
The whole team got it at one point.
But the serious question, the question you should be asking yourself about the West is not who is going to make it and who isn't. Is will Jack Eichel ever in his life play a playoff game?
Yo, did you see the
Who
stat?
will play less playoff games, Taylor Hall or Jack Eichel?
Oh, Jack Eichel. Hall's on the Bruins, so
yeah, Taylor, he
wins.
had how many last year?
it's tripled his total probably.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
Kadri joined the Avs. Yeah, I know. It's still hurting. Sucks bad. Someone posted a stat. Eichel and the Sabres, since Eichel made his Vegas debut, have like identical records.
Wow.
They're like 13-14 and
Well,
overtime
it's
losses.
confirmed. Eichel sucks. Should have booed him.
Man. I mean, listen, which team would I pick at the beginning of next season, not knowing how this offseason is going to go? Vegas. But you never know. Well, I mean, hockey's the dumbest sport, like, on the face of the planet. What was Tage Thompson's career high heading into the season? 12 points? Dude's got like 40 goals. They grew a first-line center out of the ground. Like,
well, and he was not getting any time in St. Louis, and it took a long time for him to develop in Buffalo as well. Right? Like, he was considered up until this year, like, oh, that's the throw-in from the Ryan O'Reilly deal that never turned in anything. The former first-round pick.
yeah, it's funny. I have seen some very funny takes about that. Well, Tage Thompson could turn out to be the better player. And I'm like, Ryan O'Reilly won the Conn Smythe. We're allowed to say he's having a great season without getting a little ridiculous.
Right.
Like, oh, man.
There's currently 7 teams behind Buffalo in the standings. Like, Buffalo's 25th right now, and they could pass Detroit at any moment as well, 70 to 69 points. Ottawa, New Jersey, Chicago, Philly, Seattle, Montreal, Arizona is the bottom of the standings.
Remember we all stopped talking about Seattle on a dime?
The Vegas screwed them over. We all thought they were gonna nail the expansion draft.
No, we didn't.
The trade deadline happened?
We didn't. And I said it at the time, and I've been saying I will pound that drum. I will hire a plane and drive it across the sky.
I mean, going
was right.
into the draft.
I told you it going into the draft that, first off, I told you losing McCann and keeping Hall was a mistake. I was right. Number 2, I said when they do this, the asking price, the first and the third round pick, is too high. They're not going to get it.
The greatest gift the Seattle Kraken gave any team was not selecting Vladimir Tarasenko.
Yeah, they didn't do anything right.
Tarasenko's been unbelievable.
They didn't select any of the right guys.
No, but that's the worst one.
No, but they could have had a lot of guys like that.
No, they couldn't have had anyone as good as Tarasenko. They could have had some
They
really
could have
good
had
guys.
the 2 Nashville guys. They could have had Matt Duchene.
Or Ryan
Yeah.
Johansson.
Like, there was a whole bunch of guys around the league like that.
Max
They could have
Domi.
just had.
They could have had Max Domi, too, who's had a good year.
Decent, yeah.
I mean, listen.
Noted Carolina Hurricane.
Better than their players.
Right. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then they're like,
I don't know.
You know what? We got Jamie Alexiak. Let's sign him before he plays a whole game. They signed him to a 5-year
Let's
extension.
give Washington back their goalie that we took, that we could have just kept.
Let's
for less
draft.
than what we were asking
Right.
for a slot.
Let's draft free agent Adam Larson, who's coming here anyway,
Why draft
Because
him?
he was
and
coming there.
Jaden Schwartz.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Or no, they might have taken.
So he wanted
There was
to go
one
there?
or two teams they took 2 guys from.
He wanted to go to. He wanted to
Larson.
go to
I'm
Seattle?
pretty sure he
Yeah.
wasn't going to turn
Wow.
the money down. Like,
Let's take Giordano, name him captain, and then trade him. They
I
trade.
didn't mind that.
for not.
They
all
no,
that much.
don't name him captain if you're gonna trade him 6 months later.
That's a philosophy thing. Like, no, you're right. It does kind of suck. It does kind of
The
suck.
first ever captain didn't make it a season. Well done, guys.
Dude, having him rules.
It does.
Having
He's
him
amazing.
rules. I'm not going to disparage the Kraken because I'm very grateful for that trade.
Also, do you think Giordano will be back next year?
I think so. I hope so.
He played. Like, do you think he'd sign with the Leafs again?
I do. I don't know where he fits. That's a tough one.
He fits above some of the other players.
No,
The
but
cap
healthy.
is tough.
Like, there's the cap, and then there's ideally fully healthy Jake Muzzin, who I imagine is getting surgery the instant the season is done. But then you need roster spots for Liljegren, permanent. You're never taking him out of the lineup again, ever. And Sandin, who you're never taking out of the lineup again, ever.
Serious question. Are we ever going to get a fully healthy Jake Muzzin ever again? This guy hasn't played his last full season, 82 games, or even close to it, 16, 17. Now, I know some of that, like last year he played 53. But
in a shortened season.
A shortened season, right?
Yeah.
So that's
that's
no,
a
out of
full
56,
season.
sorry.
Yeah.
so that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was a full season.
But I mean, listen, the hard miles, guys.
It's hard miles.
Jake Muzzin's an LTIR guy for the Leafs for the next few years, I wouldn't be shocked.
I wouldn't be shocked, but also guys who are cooked do not remain that way necessarily. You know who is cooked? Ryan Johansson. And he's having he's perhaps not an $8 million player. He's been a good contributor for the Nashville Predators. You know who was cooked? Dustin Brown. He was cooked a long time ago.
But then he got
In the middle of his career, he got cooked in
the
that.
middle of his career.
They took
we
the
were like,
captaincy
oh,
away. He's done. Nope, he's not.
Done. Like, there are many a success story with players, and sometimes these guys just need to take care of their bodies.
And then you got Shea Weber. And that could be Muzzin could be a Shea Weber situation where he's just done.
Shea Weber played with that foot for at least a year, probably more, and was a good contributor for the Montreal Canadiens until the instant he decided he was done.
Mm-hmm.
He probably could have played this season and been adequate. You know what I mean? But
so does Muzzin make that kind of decision, to Adam's point? Like,
yeah. Go look
done?
at Peter Forsberg's numbers are ridiculous because he would come back, scored a point a game, decide he was in agony, leave. Come back, scored a point a game, decide he was in agony, leave. Go look at his last stint with the Avs. He played like 12 games and had 11 points. Something like that. And 1 goal. You decided
I need
scoring,
one more.
Scoring is too difficult. I don't want to skate to the net. Here, you take it with this ridiculous pass that I'm going to feed you because I'm Peter friggin' Forsberg, and then you're going to snipe.
Yep.
So
if that Flyers team had a fully healthy Peter Forsberg and I think Keith Primo as well, weren't they on the same time? Scary. Keith Primo was
hard to remember.
Real right before he retired.
Flyers have always been big spenders. They're a great team where you look at their hockey DB and you go, this guy, and this guy were all on the same team at the same time.
How didn't they win?
How didn't a lot like that Avalanche team that had Solani and Correa?
Yep. And that was a resurgence for them.
They should have tiptoed to a Stanley Cup. I can't believe they didn't. But anyway, so sorry to put a bow on the Jake Muzzin thing.
You can be unhooked.
Will he play a healthy game for the rest of the season? I doubt it. Will he play a healthy game ever again? I think it's possible. Dude, we were talking about Andre Kasha's career potentially being over, like, I don't know, less than a week ago. And now it sounds like he could return by the end of the regular season.
It'd be nice.
You never know.
Just news from our boy CJ of the CJ Show. As of 10 minutes ago, NHL teams have been informed that the draft lottery will be held May the 10th. So that's about 3 weeks from right now. Draft lottery will be conducted remotely with GMs and executives patched in from their home cities. The entry draft remains July 7th and 8th in Montreal. And I don't want to hint at anything too much, but you may want to save that date on your calendar.
May the 10th?
May the 10th and then July 7th, 8th in Montreal.
Yes. Yes.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Have we...
What's that?
Not,
no, we haven't yet.
The CJ Show's already said it, you guys.
Have they? Oh, okay. So the plan is to have a big
did?
SDPN night in Montreal on July 7th after the first round. Right?
Yeah, I think so.
And then July 8th,
We'll see
we're
how it
still going to
goes.
hang around.
Yeah, we should have a party day and a hangover day.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Quickly want to mention, too, before we get to the press conference, Amanda Kessel, hired for a 1-year fellowship that fast-tracks her for NHL management. This is with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Emily Kaplan broke that story, and it's very, very cool. So, great way to have, a former player. And, the thing is, the question has always been, like, how do you get people into this? How do you diversify? The Penguins obviously finding it there. I think it's awesome, and I'm kind of excited to see what happens there.
I mean, the long-standing tradition of the Kessel family enriching the Penguins.
Let me ask you this, too. What do you think it's like walking into a boardroom with Ron Hextall and Brian Burke?
You probably, I imagine it's a cloud with fists coming in and out of it like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Okay.
Followed by a brisk handshake and I was going to say a jovial laugh, but I think I'll scratch that one.
Does Ron Hextall laugh?
I have never met him.
Brian laughs.
He does.
It's like it's a muted laugh. It's not
Every
loud.
time I've ever seen Brian Burke laugh in person, I'm like, I'm not supposed to be seeing this.
Right.
Like, oh.
But Ron Hextall, I don't know if I've ever seen the man smile. He's just very intense.
Nope.
Seen him throw punches at Felix Potvin.
God, so great.
That was a heck of a tilt.
So great. The funniest thing I've seen with him recently is someone had a picture of the Hextall Potvin fight that was signed by both of them. And I was like, man, Ron Hextall's so nails. He signed a picture of him getting his ass kicked.
He's so what? He's
He's nails.
These nails?
You've never heard that?
Is that a
Define that.
That's a Scarborough thing?
It's tough.
Yeah, his nails.
He's nails. You've never heard that?
Not really.
Oh.
No.
No, I don't know.
Okay. Aberjeezy.
Aberjeezy.
All right, let's get to the press conference, boys. The Steve Dangle podcast is sponsored by Manscaped, the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming. And Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels and is now offering products for your not-so-private parts. We have an exclusive offer for our audience. That's you. Use that promo code DANGLE. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. Join the movement like 4 million other men who trust Manscaped. Now, April is National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month, which is why we want to take a second talk about men's health issues. Did you know that one guy every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicular cancer? So this is a reminder to all men out there to check yourself before you rickety wreck yourself.
Wow.
That's in the script.
Is it?
Yeah, Manscaped, in addition to providing the right tools and solutions for safe and easy manscaping, have partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection. Together, the TCS and Manscaped are committed to raising awareness for most common forms of testicular cancer, especially in men aged 18 to 35, when you don't expect it, right? That's not the age group where you're like, yeah, I'm looking for that.
Right.
And we've seen it happen with NHL players like Phil Kessel. It does happen. And I do love the name of this campaign. It's called the We Save Your Balls. No, excuse me. We Save Balls Initiative, which I love.
I mean, get to the point.
Yeah, 100%. Now, as you know, promo code DANGLE, you get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com. Your balls will thank you. And, as always, please check them and please make sure that you're on top of that as well. Hey, did you guys know that Sidney Crosby recently became the 22nd player to score 1,400 points?
I did.
Because
I read.
we talked about it last week on the show.
And that.
Remember?
Yes.
And at that, of the 1,400 point club, Crosby ranks 4th in points per game.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, right?
Damn.
Absolutely.
You may have seen that stat or something like it while watching or checking your Instagram or even listening to a podcast, maybe this one. But have you ever wondered where to find stats like that? The answer is StatHead, powered by Hockey Reference. StatHead is the easiest and most powerful sports research tool out there. It will take you inside Hockey Reference's database so you can answer your questions about hockey stats and history. You can try StatHead for free for 2 months by going to stathead.com and using the promo code SDP to sign up for a monthly subscription. That's 2 free months of Hockey StatHead, or you can try the All Sports plan, which will give you similar tools for baseball, pro football, and basketball reference. Just use that promo code again. It is SDP. And maybe you one day can have your own segment where you try to remember weird NHL games from 10 years ago like Steve.
Oh, like 11 or 12.
Brace yourself for an existential question. Has your butt been having enough fun lately? Would you say you have a fun butt?
Yeah.
Jesse, do you have a fun butt?
It hasn't been having enough fun, though.
Okay, well,
Yeah, no.
if it
You
hasn't
can always
been,
have more.
Yes,
if-
exactly.
If you want more butt fun, check out SeatGeek.
Wow.
Have you been treating your butt like it should be lately? SeatGeek can help you out with that.
Is that in the script?
Yeah, it is. You can talk about how. Listen, let's talk about the SeatGeek app. Okay,
And butt fun.
butt fun. Do you want to have fun with your? Put your butt in a seat through SeatGeek. Download the app. It's great. It's easy, and obviously, it's beloved by many butts everywhere because they've made it.
Including you.
It's the highest rated ticketing app out there. Concerts, baseball, basketball, football, festivals, anything else. Hockey. SeatGeek puts tickets from all over the web in one place to make buying simple. SeatGeek rates every ticket from 0 to 10 to make sure that you're getting a good deal. Green means good. Red means
Not as good.
not as much butt fun. Okay? So get $20 off your first purchase with the promo code SDP at SeatGeek.com or the SeatGeek app. Again, that's promo code SDP for $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Jesse and Steve, do you see your butts having more fun in the future?
I do.
Yes.
Good. Butt fun for you. Download the SeatGeek app today.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
Oh, like tough as nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But then
yeah,
you can just say he's nails.
Right.
Yeah,
now
idiots.
I get it. Oh,
It's like how hockey, he'll go with anyone, became, he'll go anyone. You know?
Right. Yeah, tough as nails. Yeah, that's a phrase I know.
He's nails.
Okay,
Bro, he's nails, bro.
that's great.
Where's, is there an origin?
Some dude on the street. is what Urban Dictionary says.
Nailed.
Some dude on the street.
No, it doesn't say that.
Name Steve.
I wanna try out this segment. It's called Wow Really.
Oh, right. Sorry, Jesse. I was supposed to set you up for that.
That's okay.
Shit.
Adam's memory.
Idiot.
Jesse pitched this segment before the show. All he said was the title, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but I'm sure it's about how I'm stupid.
Okay.
It's not.
I don't trust you.
All right. Adam, I need your attention.
Okay.
I when I say something, the response is wow.
Really? Okay. All right.
Like that.
Yeah. I did a little dig in towards the points, the assists, and the goals leaders amongst the NHL standings this season.
Okay.
I'm going to read off some things for you guys that are going to be true at the end of the year, but might not be necessarily true right now. So they're going to hit these benchmarks come the end of the year.
Okay.
JT Miller has more assists this season than Mitch Marner.
Wow. Really? Adam, you're not even doing your thing.
I was thinking about that. JT Miller?
Wow.
Really?
Okay. All right.
Matt Duchene is going to score 40 goals this year.
Wow. Really?
Steven Stamkos is going to lead the Lightning in goals and points.
Adam?
Wow.
That one's for
really?
you.
Yeah, that one's
Is he really?
Who said
Power
Steven
play
Stamkos
specialist.
is washed up and a power play specialist?
He
Adam
was
Wilde.
last year.
and a hunk of shit. He
He is
also
going
called
to-
him a hunk of shit.
Also, he's a bad person.
Yeah.
That's what I called him, a bad guy.
He is going to lead the Lightning in goals
Wow.
and points.
He's a
Damn.
soft-spoken gentleman. I love him.
Kyle Connor is going to score 50 goals
Wow.
Really?
if he gets 6 more.
Oh, Jesse.
I think he's at
boo,
44
he's not gonna
right
get
now.
it.
I think he's
That's
gonna
a
hit it.
lot of goals, man.
UC Soros is going to lead the league in wins.
Wow. Really?
Right?
Man, good for him.
It's not a Florida Panther goalie?
Right?
I did not see UC Saros ever being this good.
Yeah. Yeah. Rene good.
Yeah.
2 more.
Oh, I don't know if Rene ever had this many wins.
2 more. Patrick Kane is going to put up 90 points this season.
Wow, really?
Wow. Really?
90 point season for Patrick Kane.
Nothing feels like it's going good there.
Last one. Now, this one's a stretch, but it might happen.
Okay.
A bigger stretch than a non-playoff goal scorer scoring 6 more by the end of the season.
Jonathan Huberdeau.
Yes.
Uberdale, who is a client of?
Alan Walsh! Noted Alan Walsh client Jonathan Huberdeau.
Jonathan Huberdeau.
Thank you, Adam. No, you don't need to say the fact. You've gotten to the interesting and important part. Alan Walsh client Jonathan Huberdeau. Wow, really?
Is going to win the Art Ross Trophy this year.
Wow. Really?
I don't know. That one's a little out there.
Now, who's he
He's-
up against?
He's
I
2
haven't
points.
looked.
He's 2 points back of McDavid right now.
Ooh.
Or are they
And that
tied at-
team, man, Florida has a plus 100 goal differential. They have scored 100 more goals than they've had scored against.
Oh, he has as of last night, he has passed Connor McDavid.
111 wins.
111 to 110. Jonathan Huberdeau right now would win the Art Ross Trophy. Wow.
Really? Michael Bunting, by the way, 6 points up on Zegras for the league lead in rookie scoring.
Wow, I'm going to fight him. Let's do wow, I'm going to fight him.
New segment. Wow.
New segment. Wow, I'm going to beat the brakes off of this skilled player.
All right,
I want
who's
to
on the
see
list?
that. Oh man, Tarasenko did the Forsberg mid-game this week.
Say it.
Wow, I'm gonna beat
fight
the
him.
brakes
Oh.
off this player.
Oh, sorry.
Wow, I'm gonna fight him.
Yeah.
You forgot your own game.
Sorry, I forgot. Frederick Anderson tried to play the puck in the neutral zone.
Wow, I'm gonna fight him.
Michael Bunting celebrated after a first period goal this week.
Wow, I'm gonna fight him.
I love this game.
Oh, man.
Anybody else? No.
I have a wow, really.
Okay, yeah, love it.
From Mike Gould on Twitter. Gould. Players who have scored 90 plus even strength points in a season in the entire history of the NHL. So that's from 1917 onward. Gretzky, Lafleur, Lemieux, Curry, Yzerman, Bossy, Esposito, Yager, Hodge, Dion, Coffey, Stastny, Trottier. Johnny Gaudreau is on pace for 91. this year.
That Dion in there was FNUF, by the way.
Yes.
Well, he's the only
not
Dion.
Marcel.
He's the only. Oh, I guess. Yeah, there's Marcel, but that's yeah.
No, it was FNUF.
Nah. Dude, Johnny could, man, there are some wildly underrated seasons, and I have a bad feeling Austin is going to get screwed out of the Hart.
No, he's
From who?
no.
If he misses enough of the end of the season, and it's the best player award,
No, it's most valuable to their team.
they're 6-1 without him.
I saw that argument.
Someone is going to think it.
That's a shit argument.
Doesn't mean someone's not going to
We
think it.
can't change the definition of the trophy. That's the thing. There's the best player, which is voted on by the players,
Ted
Ted
Lindsay.
Lindsay, and then there's the Hart, which is most valuable to your team. It's ridiculous.
Sorry, I was just thinking Johnny Gaudreau or Jonathan Huberdeau does not deserve to win the Hart Trophy, and then Alan Walsh just bursts in the door. Wow! I'm gonna fight him.
Wow, I'm gonna fight him.
He's gonna angrily board a plane.
Yeah. Wow. Roman Yossi, by the way, has 89 points.
Wow, really?
So when
He
was the
might-
last time a defenseman got 100 points?
Yeah, he might put up one of the only 100-point defenseman seasons.
Is
in
it
history.
like Paul Coffey or Lindstrom or
Makar was a lock the ballot box and throw it into the ocean lock for the Norris,
five
and
defensemen?
it might be Yossi.
5 defensemen have scored at least 100 points in a season. They are
Or-
Bobby Orr 6 times,
Coffey?
Paul Coffey 5 times,
Larry Murphy?
Dennis Potvin once, Al McInnes
Yeah.
once,
St. Louis.
and Brian Leach.
Oh, Leaf great Brian
The
Leach.
most recent, 91-92.
That's how long it's been.
Wow,
Roman Yossi
Really?
deserves, I think, some Hart Trophy consideration if he gets to 100. It's just a
only
nice
that.
round
This
number.
year feels like the Hart deserves, like, it needs more than 3 nominees.
The last
It's
time,
not enough. Eh?
look at this. The last time an NHL defenseman scored even as much as Yossi has scored. I'm just looking at this. It looks like it might be, well, I just gave it away. Ray Bourque. What year, Steve?
92, 93.
93, 94. Housley, Housley had 97 and 92, 93. But yeah, I'm looking for the latest date I can find in even the top 20.
You haven't named a single person not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So yeah, 94.
Like
1994 is the last time, and it was Ray Bourque, 20 goals, 71 assists, which is literally what Roman Yossi's tracking to do right now. And that is historically, that's incredible. That's absolutely incredible.
this is such an outlier of a season because all these records are getting broken, or this is the first time this has happened since this year or that year, and it all comes down to this is the most points anyone has put up since the last time NHL players were allowed to score. So, like Matthews, the first 50 and 50 since 95, 96. That is really like the cutoff for the dead puck era.
Yeah.
After that,
Boring. Yeah.
went away forever. And the
Yep.
early 90s is when people, again, were just throwing up these ridiculous numbers, and that's what we're citing for Roman Yossi.
Crazy. This is fun. This is really fun. Okay. So I guess with that, we'll wrap it. And we will see you Friday. Lots going on in the show, including David Bachelor joining us again for You Can Bet That with Sports Interaction. And, of course, you can hit us up anytime at sdpn.ca. Remember, brand new CJ show coming out tomorrow as well.
He's got a show coming out?
Yeah.
Wow! I'm going to fight him!
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.